Hi guys, if you guys are new here, my name is Alison and welcome to my channel. If you guys are interested with fashion, beauty, lifestyle, foundation review, and hauls video, fashion mix and match, don't forget to subscribe down below and also click that ring bell button so you get a notification whenever I upload a new video on my channel. So as you guys see on the title today, I am going to go through all my favorite foundation in 2019. And as I do a lot of foundation review, I think a lot of you guys might be interested and really curious what have been my favorite of last year. So if you guys are interested and wonder what are the stuff that I've been loving in last year, then let's keep on watching. So if you guys have been following me, you guys know I do a lot of foundation review and I try on so much foundation in a year. And today I'm finally reviewing my favorite foundation of 2019. So if you guys are interested what are my favorites in 2018 and 17, don't forget to click the video link up here. So I do have a couple repeat item here that is what I've been loving in 2018, but I'm not gonna talk into the details right here. And also a lot of the foundation I have been loving in 2018, I still have been loving it, but I'm not gonna put into this year because I don't want to repeat the same video and the same item that I talk about in this video. So you guys can check out the link, and also I'm just gonna quickly mention the stuff that I've been loving since last year. So to begin with this foundation, I'm gonna give you a little background of my skin. I do have acne prone skin, textured skin, large pores on the center of my face, and also my skin is very oily. I do tend to get very oily during the summertime. If you guys watch my foundation review during the summertime, you guys can see I do obviously have very shiny face, but during the winter time I am just only slightly oily. So this is my background of the skin type. So without further ado, let's get into this video. So first of all, if you guys have watched my project pan video in this year, I did make a lot of the progress, and this is the year that I used up makeup for once. So this is one of the item in Project Pan. This is Benefit Hello Happy Soft Blur Foundation in the shade number 3. I've been loving this during the summertime, especially because I do have oily skin, and this one, it really controls the oil and I don't get as oily as I normally do. And with this foundation, it's more like a natural foundation. Still, it does really blur out your imperfections. So I feel like this foundation is really good for me for an everyday makeup look, especially again during the summertime. Shade 3 for me is a little bit too tan of a color right now because this is more like my summer shade, but I do love this. I love using this with the foundation flat brush so that it still give me that coverage. If I'm using a sponge, I feel like this would soak up the product. It doesn't give you as much coverage. So if you guys are interested in more of a natural makeup look, it still blur out your imperfection, or you don't need much coverage of foundation, and again you have oily skin, this is the one for you. I've been using this non-stop in the summertime. But then one of the tricky part of this foundation, if you travel with this bottle, make sure you let it sit there for about a minute because it will expose right away when you open up the cap. So that's a little trick if you travel with this bottle. But again, I love this. This year I've been using this non-stop and it does give me coverage and controls the oil. The next natural makeup item that I've been loving non-stop, if you guys know me, I do wear eyeglass. So if I'm not wearing my contact lens that days, I will be using this powder foundation. So this is the Aqua Foundation Compact from J.Cat. And I believe when I'm doing my foundation review on this specific powder foundation, I purchased this on their website because they don't sell it on eBay, but now I feel like you can see this everywhere. So this is just a normal powder foundation, and the reason I've been loving this because it's not like those typical powder foundation. It dries out your skin, it looks cakey. The only thing that I use is liquid foundation on my channel, if you guys have noticed, because it's just easy to blend in and it looks super nice flawless finish. But then with powder foundation, usually it does get a little cakey if you do have dry skin or blemishes or dry patches. But the reason I've been loving this because it does give me that natural finish, blur finish. It doesn't emphasize your pores. It's not like your normal powder foundation. I'm gonna show you guys a swatch here. It's just so soft, buttery. It just kind of blur out your pores so nice. and you can even tell you have foundation on with this powder foundation. So I've been loving this on a no makeup look because it does give me a coverage, but it's not like super high coverage. It's more like a natural finish of a coverage. It blurs so nice, and also it's very easy to apply if you're doing a no makeup look. And I personally like to apply this with my big powder foundation brush so that it's easy to put it all over my face. It actually take me like a minute to put this all over my face because with this large brush and the powder finish of foundation is really easy to apply again. So if you guys have been looking for a powder foundation, I highly recommend this. The only downside is it doesn't have much of a shade range. I am not happy about the shade range, but I do find this shade in natural. It does work out with my skin tone, but it's not perfect. They do really have to work on their shade range on drugstore item, but this one, I'm lucky that it has a shade that it matches me. So the next makeup item here, this is a repetitive item that I mentioned in last year, so I'm not gonna go into the details. So first of all, this is NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. I've been loving this. A little goes a long way, and it's just so natural finish. I personally can use this over my face during summertime because I do get very oily, but I love using this during that spring winter time. It looks so nice, the natural finish and also the coverage it gives me. So I would highly recommend this to you guys if you guys do have combination to normal skin. Another foundation I mentioned last year, this is a La Prairie or La Pair. This is the Skin Caviar Essence in Foundation SPF 25. I have been loving this. If you guys watch my Project Pen video, I did finish up actually 2 reviews. And this is the new purchase. I got it during sale because it's really expensive. During the Christmas sale, this is the best time to get this foundation. And I got this in a different shade this time. This is new shade NW10 Tender Ivory. And the last shade that I got is Ivory, I believe. It's a lot more pinky tone, but this one is a lot more neutral, warm tone. But I feel like this shade is still slightly lighter than my skin tone, but I can still work it with my bronzer. But again, this is a very expensive item, but I've been loving it because it just makes me feel like I have a facial on the day before I apply my foundation. And also I believe it does have a skincare infused into this foundation, so I've been loving this. And again, this is my second case. I've been loving this. Okay, moving on to the product I discovered in this year, and I've been using this foundation non-stop because I've been loving it. This is a L'Oreal Infallible up to 24 hours fresh wear foundation. It has an SPF 25. So this foundation, again, drugstore item, it's really affordable. And also the finish that it gives me, it can compare to a lot of the high-end foundation because it does controls the oil. Again, I do have oily skin. I feel like this one, it can wear up to about 8 hours mark. And usually with a lot of foundation, I start get oily in the 6 hours mark. But this one, I have been wearing this for 12 hours and it still looks good. So this is how good of a drugstore foundation. I highly recommend this. I got this in the shade 420. And actually I got this into another summer shade as well because when I love a foundation, I will get 2 different shades because when it works on my skin, it really matters. So when I love a foundation, I would just get 2 different shades if I'm changing color in summer and winter time. But I highly recommend this one. This one, it just blurs out so nice. You guys can check my foundation review up here. I'm gonna link it. And it's just so nice. Again, I can't talk enough about this foundation. And I remember Tati said she loved this foundation as well. And I have to say with Tati's, what her favorite usually becomes my favorite most of the time, not every time. And I think she mentioned this is also her favorite drugstore. And actually, I've been using this every single day non-stop for about a month or 2 because this is how much I've been loving this foundation. Next foundation that I discovered this year, this is the Laura Mercier Flawless Lumiere Radiant Perfection Foundation. So I also did a foundation review on this foundation and I've been loving it to give it more of a natural radiant look. Again, I would use this during the spring, fall, winter time because I don't get as oily during this time. But if I'm like in summer, I don't think this would work out for me. And here you guys can see I've been using a lot on this foundation, and normally this is a lot to me because I do have a lot of foundation and I'm constantly doing a foundation review, so I don't go in with a foundation. I never finish a bottle of foundation. That's meant a lot. So if you see a progress on the foundation bottle in my collection, which means I've been loving that foundation. This one, it just gives me more of a natural finish. It does give me light to medium coverage, and also this is so easy to blend if you do have a little more dry skin towards the winter time. I've been loving this in this season as well because it does give me coverage, it's not too dry, I don't get as oily, and I love the coverage of this. And moving on, this has been my favorite foundation, and I discovered this foundation probably at the end of 2019, and it has become my favorite. This is the Chanel Ultra Le Tint Ultra Wear All Day Comfort Flawless Finish Foundation. So I got this in the shade B20. So this one with the foundation is not too drying, but it gives you a lot of the coverage. All of the Chanel foundation, it does have a Chanel scent, if you guys know. But again, the bottle is luxurious, it looks nice, and obviously it's a high-end foundation. But does it worth the price? I feel like if you guys can try out the L'Oreal Infallible, I feel like this is still better with compared with the Chanel. You don't have to spend that much money, but with the Chanel, again, it doesn't have much of the shade range. I feel like B20 is a little too pinky for my like, but this is the closest shade that they can get for me. So I feel like this one, it still works. It gives you the coverage. If you guys going out for like an expensive date night, I feel like this would be the foundation for you. If you feel like you have money to spend, again, this is a foundation for you. But do you need it? I don't think it's necessary that you need this in your life. I feel like this is just a great option to have in your collection, but I personally don't feel like this really worth the price if you guys have something else that it works in your foundation collection. Next, going on, this has been my favorite. I talk about this in my favorite video. So this is the Shiseido Central Skin Self-Refreshing Foundation, oil-free. It has an SPF of 30. And especially I like this in this twist bottle because you can travel with it. You don't have to think of spills, accident happen in your travel case. And also this one I've been using a lot since I purchased this foundation. I'm not sure if you guys can see the dent. This is like how much I've been using this foundation, and this one a little goes a long way, and it works so nice with my oily skin because I don't get as oily. And after, I will say I wear this for about 10 hours and it still looks good. I feel like these two foundation compared side to side, they're kind of similar, and I feel like these two I have been going towards a lot in 2019 because that's how much I've been loving them, and their longevity is so good. I think I've been wearing this Shiseido when I was attending my company holiday parties. It meant a lot when you using a foundation in a specific event, and I'm sure you guys know if you're wearing the foundation in like a specific occasion, like event that you're going, then this is trusted foundation. This is the foundation to go if you want something longevity. It does give you that natural, like still give you that coverage, then go with this one. This too is my most favorite foundation in this year, I have to say, within all the foundation that I just talked about. This two is the top two that I've been loving in this year. Okay guys, so that is all my favorite foundation in this year. I only have 2, 4, 6, 8 foundation that I include in this video, and actually 2 of them has been repetitive from last year. So there's 6 new foundation that I discovered in 2019, and I've been using it non-stop, and I love this foundation. So I hope you guys enjoy watching this video, and hope this video does help you guys out who has a similar skin type as I do to pick up your foundation. So again, I'm still gonna keep doing what I've been doing on my channel. I'm gonna do a lot of foundation review again in 2020. If you guys have any specific requests of a foundation that you want me to try on, if you guys have similar skin type as I do, leave a comment down below, then I'll check it out and see if I can purchase them and review for you guys. So that's it for this video today, and hope you guys enjoy watching this video and help out you guys to pick up your foundation, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye! Oh, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up here if you guys like this video. Bye!